Hello, everybody. This is Love from Above with your Sibling Spirit Guides. I'm Maureen, and this is my brother.
Hey Maureen, hey everyone, this is Brian.
Hey, Brian. If you can believe it, on this podcast, we share daily channelings we receive from star beings, ascended masters, mythical beings who really exist, and occasionally our ancestors. And everyone needs to listen to this podcast, Words of Power. Brian, everybody, did you know that you're using words of power every day when you communicate?
Yeah, well, I definitely know that, words are powerful, so it's really important to careful to, not to say things like that you don't mean. So, but yeah, it is a great topic.
Yeah, when I first learned this, I would like speak so haltingly because I would be really like observant of what I was saying. And I guess the first words of power we have to talk about is I am, because I am is a commandment. Whatever you say after I am is a commandment to the universe. Um, so do you remember when you figured that one out? I mean, that is a biggie.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm still not perfect. Sometimes I say something, I'm like, no, cancel. I didn't mean to say that.
I will put the word hungry after I am, and then I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing? But yeah, so I'll just go ahead and begin. The first topic that we have is about calling on your ancestors. But before I get into that, I want to talk about the power of I am, which I think that this really came from Saint Germain's I am discourses. If you haven't read those, so there are 33 channeled books that were published in like the 1930s. And Saint Germain teaches that whatever you say after I am helps you to align with your divine power and affirms your infinite potential. Whether you realize it or not, the power of I am shapes your reality. But to use the I am effectively, your emotions must align with your words and your intention must be clear. So if you go around saying, I am wealthy, I am wealthy, I'm wealthy, but you feel poor inside, then, you're not going to be manifesting this. But Brian, I for years said daily affirmations. Have you ever tried this? And it really does work. The one that I said for years is, I am divine, complete, and whole. And when I started to say that, I did not feel divine, complete, and whole. And it took about 2 years. And I was like, oh my gosh, I do feel divine, complete, and whole. Have you ever tried these I am affirmations?
Yes, and you're right. You do have to align with not only saying it, but in words, you have to believe it is true, or else it doesn't. But yeah, I mean, I have, I think we've, as you know, it's just a bunch of different affirmations on a daily basis that I like to say, and different prayers and things, and but some of the I am sayings are definitely part of that. So. And yeah, Saint Germain's, and I did not read all 33, but as we talked, I mean, there are a lot of similar topics. I've definitely read or listened to at
I got
least,
to I got to 13. They really do start to become repetitive.
right.
The first two are amazing, and I'm actually rereading the second one for like the third time, but the first two are amazing. But they do really become repetitive. But what a gift. I know Wayne Dyer, a lot of his teachings are based on, he talks about the moment where a fan sent him one of the I Am Discourses book, and he read it and his just mind was blown. So it's a basis for a lot of other modern spiritual teachings. And I bet Louise Hay read it too. That is one. I travel with Louise Hay's affirmation deck. And boy, is Louise Hay not the queen of affirmations? But I really think that all of this comes from the I Am discourses, which were, published now like 90 years ago. Um, but they go on to say, Saint Germain does say that you can say I am not to cancel a phrase that you wish to banish, which is very helpful. And my old spiritual teacher would tell me to say cancel, clear, and delete. So if you say something, you're like, oh no, that's not what I want. But do you want to go ahead with the information we got from I think it was from, we don't know who it was from, with regards to how to invoke worlds of power?
Yeah, yeah. So it says, whether you realize or not, the power of I am messages shapes your reality. To use the I am effectively, your emotions must align with your words and your attention must be clear. Um, I am not is ineffective, but can be used to cancel phrases. Another way to access a word of power is to invoke the memory of a departed loved one. So you de should you desire to accomplish a task in honor of their memory by invoking their name, you call forth their energies to assist. So, for example, um, I invoke Stephen and Mary, our grandparents, to assist me in my daily activities, calls on their energies to rush by your side. In this way, the universe is polite. It requires an asking for the doing. So yeah, is that something you have in your prayers about the Stephen and Mary? Because I have the prayer that they gave us, but I don't have that specific invocation.
Um, I actually, the one that I use is by Maureen Saint Germain. It's in one, I think it's in a book that you recommended. And she says that this is something you could say. And I think this is super powerful. As a being carrying the divine spark of life, I have the right to demand that all the forces of heaven support every aspect of my life. I like that one.
That pretty much covers it, right? That is a good one. Not bad. I don't remember that, but yeah,
Oh, I wrote that one down, man. I was like, that's a keeper. And so I will use that. Like, I'll be like, oh, geez, I got to get to my airport gate. Ah, as a being carrying the divine spark of life, I have a right to demand that all the forces of support me in getting to this airplane gate at a time. So, yeah, that is super powerful. God bless Maureen Saint Germain for that one.
love it. I love it.
Yeah. So do you want to go on with the next one, which was an ancient warrior's most useful trick?
Interesting. So if this is from the Watchers. This is we have been present since the conception of space-time. We serve all life forms. We come forth now as this critical time to usher in a new thought forms. The fears and worries of the old matrix are disassembling. Hallelujah to that, right? To allow the love and light of our Creator to burst forth in the hearts of every being. We shall introduce a new brethren to the circle. This name is indecipherable in your native tongue. He hails from long ago on your planet. He was regarded as a fierce warrior, um, worthy of command. He assembled over a vast swath of earth, or the earthly planet. And then he goes on to say, hello, I'm here to introduce a concept that helped me. The brethren came to me and assisted me, which allowed me to achieve extraordinary success in my time. The most useful trick I employed was to imagine a drop of stardust entering into my personal being. I saw it entering my heart. When I needed to make an oratory speech, I saw myself ingesting the pure life force of the one creator into my vocal cords, subsuming my personal will to allow the one to take charge. So let me stop there. So I do remember this. Have you tried this? Have you
I actually
already?
I actually did this before we got on this podcast. So, yeah, I love that. I mean, I just really, really love that of, utilizing all the beings around us in heaven to really take charge and take over our vocal cords, like what happens in channeling to bring forth the highest message possible. I love it. So isn't that interesting? Like this was key for this ancient warrior for um achieving success and ruling over vast swaths of land on Earth. Can you imagine?
Yeah, nothing surprises me anymore. I mean, this is what we found that everybody, all the almost all historical leaders that we know of have had some interaction with the divine to, so I think that it's really interesting.
Yeah, so I'll go on when he says, knowing that this stardust, this unique life force of the one, was within me and it could never be expelled, no harm could come to me. I was invincible. It was with this courage that I faced tremendous odds and succeeded with each passing opportunity. I pass this technique to you so that you may utilize it in your daily lives. No harm can come from this practice. It provides the highest benefit for you and all beings. I shall be with you to assist with the beginning practices of utilizing this important tool. So thank you to this warrior with an undecipherable name. Yeah, so next time someone needs to make a speech, all you need to do is see yourself as ingesting the pure life force of the one creator into your vocal cords, into your heart, and allowing the greater forces to take control. I love that.
I love it. I'm definitely going to use that. So I appreciate and grateful for that. Thank you so much.
Yes. So from an old warrior to a new one. Brian, we got a new warrior on the horizon. Can you believe it?
Interesting. I'm ready. I'm ready. So this is from the Watchers again. It says, "We come to regale you with stories from your illustrious past. The future of the planet, the blue planet, is indeed tremendously bright. A new warrior hero appears on the horizon to assume political aspirations which will inspire many to revolutionize their thoughts of governmental ordinances. This new hero has been crafted from the ancient masters. He's been studying ancient ways. His knowledge is based upon the glorious past of your planet when the gods walked among your heavenly kind." So interesting. Someone with political aspirations, um, but they call him a new warrior. So I'm all for it. What are your thoughts, Maureen?
I think it's needed.
Yes.
I think it's needed. And I love that it's someone who's been studying with the ancient masters. I mean, it kind of it reminds me of like you know what they say about Jesus, those missing years that supposedly nowhere knows where he was, that he was actually receiving teachings, you know, in Egypt and in that he was in Europe and India and you know just receiving all of these spiritual teachings all over the planet. So this kind sounds very similar. So yeah, it's definitely very needed and it's very exciting.
Very exciting. Can't wait. So keep your eyes out for that one, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I thought I would close with this isn't it. I just thought this was a cute saying. It's from the Watchers, and they said, Earth is like everybody's darling little brother or little sister. So cute that you can't keep your eyes off their latest antics. It's in this way that the Earth has become a planetary magnet for observation for many beings. We delight in your trivial disputes, your wars, your romances, your feeble foibles, and your follies. You know, you know what that reminds me of? I had a very intuitive friend when I used to live in Florida, and she used to say, "I know that the Dawn Show is really popular." She always felt like there were so many beings around her just watching the drama of her everyday life. She's like, "They're all watching the Dawn Show."
Oh, that's funny. It's like we're providing entertainment for those above or below. So yeah, that's
Yeah, they delight in our trivial disputes. Well, I'm glad we can make you laugh. You know, your wars.
Yeah, that's so funny. All
Uh,
right.
any other thoughts, brother?
No, great topics. Love it. And I'm looking forward to hearing or looking out for this new warrior leader on the horizon. So exciting stuff, Maureen. So appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm grateful for everyone who's listening, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, everyone.